Mrs. True. I would like to take this opportunity to tell you a little bit about the Swiss Business Hub. The Swiss Business Hub is based out of Mumbai, Delhi and Bangalore. It is the official trade and investment arm of the Swiss government in India. The two main areas of focus for us are investment promotion, that's presenting Switzerland as a competitive business location to Indian companies wishing to set up their operations or expand their operations in Switzerland, and export promotion. We support Indian companies to explore business opportunities in Switzerland, use Switzerland as a hub to expand their European operations, to set up R&D centers, trading, sales, marketing offices, and also as a first point of contact for Indian companies through the Swiss Business Hub in India. Some of research, tax, legal, accounting services, regulatory services, and business development. Me, along with Mrs. True, and of course we have Mr. Khosla here, who represents the Canton of Basel, would now like to take up some questions if you have. Thank you.
In the business commercial center.
Thank you for this question. Actually, I forgot to tell this, but I think the best thing is to let an Indian the floor who has the experience in Switzerland. And the fact that he's very successful shows that apparently he is understood and he understands also the people there. But please.
When we did this opening ceremony, our CEO, who is a Swiss German, his speech to my whole family was given in Hindi. And after about 2 months, about 20 top employees of my company, they had Punjabi CDs in their car. I can say something in Hindi to be more, but let's stick here. And I'll just say that these people, they are all speaking English. At least anybody who's in the office speaks English. On the shop floor, yes, they speak more of Swiss German, which is a little tough. But till date, I have not learned a single word of other than Guten Morgen or something. With maybe 10 words is the total vocabulary that I have after 4 years of working in Switzerland. So,
you're doing everything in English?
Yeah, even the software is in, the IT software is in German, but then we have people who can take out in English.
If I may add to this, we have 4 national languages. The 3 major ones are German, French and Italian. And we are supposed to speak the other languages. I speak French and Italian also. But many young Swiss, they do not speak necessarily the other languages, or maybe also only as a third language. And English has become, for many young people, the second language. And the language of communication between the French part and the German part very often is English and not French or German anymore. So this shows the increasingly importance of English also in Switzerland.
Can I add, sir? There is information in the newspaper that in Switzerland, English is the, in the whole world, the highest spoken by the number of people there, percentage-wise. Just two days back, it was information.
Thanks to everyone. You mentioned about low interest rates. Can you please throw some light on low interest rates on machinery or probably land over there? And another question, these interest rates are maybe for Switzerland people, but what if I go there and open up a company? Will it be a different interest rate for a foreign national?
In general, the banks, they give grants, loans to very preferential conditions, and this goes for all the setups, independently whether the national is a Swiss or a foreigner. What the bank needs is a good business plan and some security, and if this is the case, you can actually also take advantage of the preferential conditions which actually we have in Switzerland, and the interests are really at a very, very low level. Interests for real estate, you get let's say, loans for 1% interest a year, and for other investments, interest rates are equally low.
Depending on your profiling, risk profile, and including the hedging, sometimes it comes around 9% or even 8% if you want to import machinery from Switzerland. Thank you, sir.
Hello. Yeah. In Switzerland, I have found that there are lots of lakes, and all the drainage from the nearby cities, it comes to the lake. But lake's water is perfectly clear and unpolluted. How do you do that? Number one, has area of hills right from Ladakh to Sikkim, around 30,000 kilometers and 200 kilometers on width. Here, we would like to have a model how this area can be developed like Switzerland. And number three, the Switzerland has the best rail, There, on the hills, railway goes like this. And whereas, in India, it goes like this. Right? That is also, you can have. And technical collaboration and impart, all the technical know-how as in a consultancy joint venture to Indian firms. Will you be open for that?
I start with the third question first. Switzerland is definitely open to joint ventures with Indian companies, with India, and we have certainly some experience, some know-how to offer, especially in the mountain regions. We have infrastructure, which is a really good infrastructure. In all over the countries, we have paved roads which go to almost every small village of 20 inhabitants. We have trains connecting north-south and west-east. You can go through Switzerland in 2 hours from north to south and in 3.5 hours from west to east. And trains are running every hour at Swiss time. So there is certainly some potential which Switzerland has seen, and I think it's some potential which we can further explore. On the second question, development of mountain area, there also certainly it is very costly. This I have to say. We have tunnels, and we have inaugurated some 5 years back the longest railway tunnel in Europe, which is the Lötschberg tunnel, some 40 kilometers, which is a very costly tunnel, but at the end it shortens the transport duration time from Bern to Milano in Italy, that means from Switzerland to Italy, by some 20 minutes. And if you add all these advantages you have, at the end you are connected with the major cities abroad, like Milan, like Frankfurt, like Paris, within 3-4 maximum 5 hours. So this makes the train incredibly competitive, also compared to the plane, for instance, or even to road. And our policy is bringing more people and also goods to train than using the road for this. And with this, we also keep the country clean. When I come then to the first question, which is related to wastewater management, there I can tell you that not even 99.9, but I would say 100% of the wastewater is cleaned. We have special plants for cleaning wastewater, and what you have in the rivers and in the lakes is almost drinking water quality.
I can add it here that, for example, in my plant, before the water is given back to the community, there is a reactor where we take out 100% solid contents. And you you can see the dry powder coming out of water, which we store in trolleys and then throw away. Before we give it to, again it goes to the community treatment plant before it is released to the rivers.
I personally worked in Switzerland for 1 year. To be honest, I felt that there was one big concern. The labor laws of Swiss are a bit different. For example, you're only allowed to work for 40 hours, and then you have to follow certain norms. And plus, if you have to hire somebody from, from non-EU, we have some Swiss EU pact, in which the government norms are very strict. You have to go through the entire procedure. Luckily, in my case, my company handled it for me, and I work for Alstom there. So, what exactly has been done from the government's perspective? For example, if somebody from India, especially from Ludhiana, would go there and set up a company, and they would have to hire somebody from non-EU. So what procedure they have to go through, and how difficult or simplified it is for the people there, for people here. Thank you.
First of all, we have a network of agreements, of bilateral agreements with the EU, and this forms a kind of circle. And when it comes to recruitment of personnel, of staff, we first have to go to this circle of EU where we have a free movement of persons. This works relatively well, but there are also cases where there is not enough know-how, there is not enough personnel within EU, so we have also to go outside. And if you want to hire somebody from outside Europe, the procedure might be a little bit longer, a little bit more complicated, but there you have to prove that the person and the profile you are looking for, that you cannot find somebody within this circle of the Switzerland and the EU, and if you can prove this, you're allowed to recruit somebody from outside Europe. And this goes especially for well-qualified, highly qualified jobs in R&D and innovation. And I'm sure that the Swiss governments, and in this case it is the cantonal authorities, they are rather generous.
Automotive and engineering tech fields, especially related to mechanical. So I wanted to know that if there are any good incubation opportunities available for mechanical startups and tech startups like non-IT in Switzerland. Anything that Switzerland offers that other countries don't?
You in detail, maybe, I don't know if Aslesha knows something more. Just in general, yes, Switzerland is producing parts for the automotive industry. Switzerland, one company, Oerlikon Drive System, even provides the gearboxes for Mahindra. So Switzerland is present, there is a know-how there, but in detail I can take your question also and come back to you if necessary. Would you have something to add?
Yeah, well, we are happy to share our website details with you. We have listed all the companies and all related.
I cannot hear you.
So I'm happy to share with you the list of companies and our website, so you can go through it. And if there are any other questions related to it, I'll share you our contact details so you can write to us.